live with local coverage you can count on. This is the CBS 42 News at Noon.
Happening now, State Representative John Rogers is appearing in federal court for an arraignment. Good afternoon, I'm Lillian Lalo. Thanks for being with us here on the CBS 42 News at Noon. His attorney says that Rogers has pled not guilty to obstruction of justice and obstruction of justice by bribery. Rogers is the third person to be indicted in the alleged kickback scheme involving a Birmingham Youth Baseball League. Fred Plump Jr. resigned from his seat in the Alabama House of Representatives earlier this year for his involvement. And Carly Russell and her lawyers are appealing a judge's guilty verdict in her case. She appeared in Hoover Municipal Court Wednesday, where she pled not guilty for 2 misdemeanor charges related to her staged abduction. And Judge Brad Bishop ordered Russell to pay fines and restitution fees totaling nearly $18,000. The judge also ordered Russell to serve 1 year in jail, and her attorney, Emory Anthony, does not agree with that jail time recommendation from the judge.
We stipulated and appealed the case, and the reason behind it was that they're trying to ask for jail time, which we totally disagree with. All right. So in fairness, there's no need of having a trial here, knowing their position. So we have stipulated and appealed the case.
So Russell's case will be moved to the Bessemer Circuit Court, and no date has been set yet. And then you can read our full Carly Russell coverage on our CBS 42 app, where we have a breakdown of how this story has unfolded, all starting with that first 911 call. And new at noon, the Birmingham police are searching for some new information in a homicide investigation of Demetrius Stillman Jr. If your information leads to an arrest, you could even receive a cash reward. This unsolved case started last year on October 11th. That's when Birmingham police found Stillman shot inside a black 2010 Chevrolet Impala. He was found around 1:30 in the morning at the intersection of Penfield Drive and Zion City Road, where he was pronounced dead. So anyone with information should call the Birmingham Police Homicide Division directly. That number is 205-254-1764. Or you can remain anonymous by calling Crime Stoppers. And Crime Stoppers can award tipsters up to $5,000 in cash. Right now, let's take a live look at the sky in Birmingham. This is from our BJCC camera. You know, it is a little bit dreary out there, but our storm team meteorologist Alex Puckett has been telling us all about this, and I don't mind it too much, Alex. It's kind of like cozy weather, you know?
It is. You know, it's the nice kind of weather, though. You want to stay inside, right? It looks like this outside. It's a live view from Lincoln now at Talladega Superspeedway. Totally overcast sky, and I don't expect that to change as we head through the rest of the day. Not much showing up on the radar in Alabama. A few showers popping up in parts of southeast Alabama, but you can see the cloud cover. Only spot really in the state that's seen any sunshine at all up into the Tennessee Valley. We take a closer look at the radar here. There are some light returns into parts of Tuscaloosa, Fayette, and Walker counties. I tend to think that most of that may not be making it to the ground at this point, but we won't rule out a couple of sprinkles as we head through the rest of this afternoon. But as far as measurable rain, it's not the cards. Temperatures sitting in the mid to upper 60s right now as we head through the rest of your afternoon. Temperatures climbing up to around 70, and then this evening dipping back down to the 60s. Those clouds sticking with us. We're going to look at chance for some showers tomorrow, though, and your weekend forecast coming up in just a few more minutes. Lillian.
Alex, thank you. Well, there's a sigh of relief for the Shades Mountain Baptist Church. One of their missions teams that was in Israel when this war broke out is back home safe. This is confirmed by a senior pastor at the church. And Israel's military chief of staff spoke out for the first time since Saturday's attack, saying that the military did not meet the challenge of protecting the country. More than 1,000 people in Israel have been killed, including 25 U.S. citizens. So that makes some of the images in this next story disturbing. Natalie Brand has the very latest from the White House.
Tanks in southern Israel fired at targets in Gaza, part of Israel's retaliation for Saturday's barbaric attacks by Hamas. The terror group fired rockets of its own Thursday into the Israeli city of Sderot. In Gaza, as Israel's relentless air assault continues against Hamas, wounded Palestinian children crowd the hospitals.
They keep saying, leave the Gaza Strip. Where to? They want everything.
Israel says it won't end the Gaza siege, blocking food, fuel, and water from the territory until Israeli hostages are returned. Sharon Lifshitz's elderly parents are among those abducted.
We need your help. We need the world's help to bring those survivors back home now.
U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken traveled to Israel and met with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu today, pledging additional U.S. support and noting the situation is personal for him.
I come before you not only as the United States Secretary of State, but also as a Jew. I understand on a personal level the harrowing echoes that Hamas's massacres carry for Israeli Jews, indeed, for Jews everywhere.
Later at a donation center, he met with survivors of the dance party that Hamas attacked.
We lost a lot of our friends, close friends, and lots of family members.
He embraced the young woman, and a crowd of volunteers showed their appreciation. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
And while in the Middle East, Blinken will also meet with officials in Jordan and Palestine in an effort to prevent this conflict from widening. And it's hard for many of us to see those graphic and disturbing images coming out of Israel and Gaza. And some psychologists are providing parents with tools on how to talk to their kids about this situation. Health experts are advising parents to use simple, honest, age-appropriate language and avoid graphic details or unnecessary information that might be upsetting. And advise everyone to take a break from round-the-clock coverage.
I think the easiest thing for a parent to do is to say, honey, I know that you're hearing a lot about war and a lot of very terrible things happening. Would you like us to have a conversation about this? Is there something you want to ask me? Not only is their sense of safety shaken, but the PTSD, the trauma that they're envisioning that might end up in intrusive thoughts, nightmares, worries about families back here at home, you can change that narrative by reminding them that they're safe. You're not just teaching them about this conflict, you're teaching them how to think in the future.
Encouraging kids to take positive actions is also a good way to address these difficult situations. You can talk with your child about making the world a better place through volunteering and supporting charities. And new at noon, Majority Leader Steve Scalise won a closed-door vote to become the GOP Speaker nominee. The full House has not voted yet because Scalise doesn't have enough support to reach the 217 threshold. He can only afford to lose 4 GOP members, but at least 10 Republicans say they do not support him. Scalise and others are working on the holdout Republicans, hoping to change their minds, because until a speaker is in place, the House cannot work on any legislation, including bills to support Israel. Covering Alabaster, there is a delay with the Alabaster Boulevard repavement project. According to the city's Facebook page, a contractor discovered an issue with a foundation near the Alabaster Boulevard and Weatherly Club Drive intersection. The city says it's going to require a complete removal and rebuild of that section of road, so that means Alabaster Boulevard will stay closed until at least the end of the month. And the Bissell Pet Foundation is helping homeless pets find homes by sponsoring reduced adoption fees at more than 345 shelters in 42 states for its fall National Empty the Shelters event. So 4 of those shelters are right here in Alabama, meaning that now through Sunday, adopters can visit a participating location and they can bring home a pet for $50 or less.
When you adopt a pet, you're not just saving that pet's life, but you're also creating really critical space in a shelter so there can be other pets that are saved. And, you know, our founder, Kathy Bissell, always likes to remind everyone that if you're thinking of adding a pet to the family, before you ever consider, purchasing a pet or going to a breeder, visit your local animal shelter. Do more than just look at what they have available online. Actually go visit and meet the pets. There are every kind of pet you could have imagined in an animal shelter.
Empty the Shelters has helped nearly 190,000 pets find homes with an average of 1,200 pets adopted per day during these quarterly national events. And if you'd like more details, we've got them listed now on our website, cbs42.com. And still ahead, the Beeham Food Plus Culture Fest is happening now. Why you shouldn't miss this 4-day event. Plus, the Forge Breast Cancer Survivor Center is celebrating survivors and their families in a fun way. How you can help out this great cause. Alex.
We've got a pattern change on the way as we head into the weekend. A cold front pushes through. Now, we won't necessarily feel the difference Saturday, but Sunday into next week, colder air moving into the state of Alabama. We'll show you how cold things get when we come back.
You're watching CBS 42, local coverage you can count on. This is the CBS 42 News at Noon.
Happening today during Breast Cancer Awareness Month, Forge Breast Cancer Survivor Center is hosting its third annual Hot Pink Fashion Show. And they're inviting everyone to come out and join them and have a good time. The goal of the event is to focus a spotlight on the 1 in 8 women and the 1 in 1,000 men in Alabama diagnosed with breast cancer. Funds raised that night will benefit Forge's mission to improve the quality of life for Alabama breast cancer patients, survivors, and their caregivers and loved ones.
It's to acknowledge, support, love on anyone who's been impacted by breast cancer in the state of Alabama. It's to create awareness of Forge, because our hope is that if you hear of someone who's been diagnosed with breast cancer, call Forge. They're the ones who are going to be able to help you, and to raise money, frankly, so that we can continue to grow our program across the entire state of Alabama.
And this event is taking place this evening on the Red Mountain Theater Arts Campus. It starts at 6:30 and tickets are still available. And we've got more details right now on our website, cbs42.com. All right, let's take a live look at the beach, shall we? This is in Gulf Shores. You know, it still looks nice, even a little dreary. I always love a day at the beach. Let's check in with our storm team meteorologist, Alex Puckett. Alex, will those clouds be cleared out tomorrow, or what's the deal? I got to start planning.
Yeah, unfortunately not, but they do clear out for the weekend. Want to point out, by the way, at the beach, double red flags flying in Gulf Shores and Orange Beach today. Those surf conditions dangerous. That's why you didn't see any swimmers there. The water usually still warm enough to swim at this time of year, but yeah, not safe to be out there. The weather here is not uncomfortable. It's just a little gloomy outside with all the clouds. It's live view from Grandview Medical Center. We are stuck in the clouds. I expect us to stay in the clouds today. Only places where we've really seen some sunshine break through would be north of Highway 278 into the Tennessee Valley. So parts of Limestone, Morgan, Madison counties have seen some sunshine break through. Hasn't been the case here in central Alabama. We'll take a closer look at the radar here. You do see some streaks showing up. Not necessarily sure we're getting anything to fall from this, but there are some radar returns in parts of Tuscaloosa, Fayette, and Walker counties. Within the realm of possibility, there could be a couple of very light sprinkles. A nuisance more than anything else. Might not even need the windshield wipers for them. But we are going to keep an eye on the radar as we head through the rest of the evening. Generally, though, dry through the rest of today. Temperature sitting in the 60s right now, close to 70 as we head through the lunch hours here. Staying cloudy and a little gloomy outside. That's going to be the story as we head through the rest of the day. Again, still a chance for a sprinkle, but no formal rain chance on the board for today. Tonight, low around 60. Those clouds not going anywhere as we head through this evening. It's going to stay cloudy. This model suggesting they could break up a little bit briefly. I tend to think we stay cloudy, but even if they do break up briefly, they will build right back in tomorrow. Note as we head into the day tomorrow, especially along and east of I-65, the potential here for a few isolated showers. Not too dissimilar from today. A little better chance that these actually have a little bit of rain in them, but I want to point out that these would be nuisance showers, no meaningful rainfall from any of that. Weather looking fine for Friday night lights, though, and for the games tonight. I think the weather's going to be okay. It will be cloudy, perhaps some clearing there as we head towards the fourth quarter, temperatures in the 60s. And then for Friday's games, I do think there's a very slim chance for a shower there, mainly towards the Georgia border. For most of us, it will just be cloudy and cool. Again, temperatures in the 60s for high school football games on Friday. And then Alabama has homecoming on Saturday, 11 a.m. kick against Arkansas at Bryant-Denny. Fantastic weather, lots of sunshine, temperature in the 70s. Auburn's on the road at Death Valley taking on LSU. Weather looking nice there too, a bit cool as we head into the fourth quarter of that game. And then UAB is on the road. They're taking on Texas San Antonio in the Alamo Dome. So it's a dome. The weather wouldn't be a factor anyway, but the weather is nice in San Antonio for that game. Our big pattern change comes this weekend. Cold front pushes through Saturday, and by Sunday, some quite chilly air on the way. We'll get breezy as we head through the weekend. We do dry out, but look at the high temperature Sunday, 63. We'll start out the morning Sunday in the low 50s, and we're talking morning temperatures in the 40s and afternoon temperatures in the 60s and low 70s as we head through the first half of next week. Lillian.
Well, Alex, we'll take it. Thank you. New at noon, the inaugural BHAM Food Plus Culture Fest is kicking off today, and it lasts through Sunday. So this 4-day food festival is designed to highlight and celebrate Birmingham's food scene, which we can all get behind. So joining us now is Derek Belden. He's from Fred Communication by Design. And we're so glad you're here, and I want you to tell us about this festival.
Yeah, it's been, wow, 2 years in the making. It all started back in 2021 when we had the International Association of Culinary Professionals here in Birmingham, and to a person, every one of them absolutely was blown away by Birmingham and floored by the food scene here. So a group of us started talking about how do we start a multi-day food festival that could become a real economic driver for the city.
How surprised do you think people are that come in from out of town and have that wow experience? Because that's one thing I'm so proud of about Birmingham.
Yeah, I mean, I think people again and again come to Birmingham. They go to the restaurants, they meet the chefs, everyone's so friendly. The flavors, the food they see, the people they meet just blow them away every time. And we're such a rich food scene in that, you know, there's so many cultures that have melded here, and that's why we called it the Food Plus Culture Festival, so that we can celebrate all the different flavors that you find in Birmingham.
And so what can people expect at this event? Break it down. So
it starts today with a luncheon going on right now, so sorry those watching aren't there, but it starts today and at this luncheon, and then tonight we have a celebration of Frank Stitt and his contribution to the food scene in our region. And then tomorrow night is a dinner in the streets of Pepper Place, celebrating black food and black culture. And there's 5 African-American chefs, and the country's first African-American master sommelier has paired the wines for the meal. And most of those are sold out, but we have 2 big events on the weekend. There's some programming during the Pepper Place Farmers Market in the morning, and then Saturday afternoon we have the Food Plus Fire Festival presented by Southern Living Magazine. And that's where we have 30 plus pit masters and chefs cooking over open fire, the Southern Living Hellman's Mayonnaise demo stage, the Coca-Cola music stage, TVs for SEC football. And nice. So we had to include that, of course. And so you can go get a ticket at the gate or buy on our website. And basically free food, bites all day long, 11 to 4. And we wanted to end at 4 so people who are in town for this could go to restaurants around Birmingham and support our local restaurants as well, or knowing Birmingham like I know Birmingham, eat and watch some football
exactly.
that night. So.
Well, it sounds like y'all have thought of everything. So, okay, a mom with a stroller. I mean, is this like a kind of thing you can take the kids to?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Kids under 12 are free.
Oh, nice.
And so you can buy tickets at the gate or online up until the event, of course. And then we also have an event on Sunday called Biscuits, or it's Food Plus Funk, and it's Biscuits and Bloodies. And it's the Rebirth Brass Brand, Grammy Award winning from New Orleans. We have 12 biscuit makers coming in to make their different takes on biscuits. And so either of those events would be wonderful for moms and strollers and kids and people to run around. So both will be wonderful.
And how much are tickets?
Tickets are around $75,
okay.
But there's a lot of promotional codes that get you all you can eat, a lot of local craft brewers are making, beer and sips around the place, and so $75 for Food Plus Fire, and I believe Food Plus Funk's a little less than that. It escapes my memory right now.
Well, hey, we can figure it out, because where can we go to get more info?
Birmingham, or BHAM, BHAM, Food Plus PLUS.com.
Perfect.
And tickets are still available for those last 2 on Saturday and Sunday. Join us.
Sounds awesome. I'm very excited about this for
Absolutely.
our community. This is fantastic. So yeah, we've also got a full list of everything that's happening, everything going on at that festival right now at CBS42.com. And we just appreciate you being here to
Absolutely.
get us excited about this. And we have all that ticket information for you again at our website. So here's a look at what's coming up next on the news at noon. We've got some entertainment for you. We're going to be telling you about a new show on Broadway. So stay with us. We'll be right back. In entertainment news, director Spike Lee gets a major exhibit in New York, and Barry Manilow prepares to open a new show on Broadway. Danya Backus has your eye on entertainment.
A musical written by Barry Manilow and Bruce Sussman more than 3 decades ago is finally coming to Broadway. The show tells the true story of forgotten German performers, the comedian harmonists. At the height of their popularity in the 1930s, the Nazi Party banned them from performing. 3 of the group's members were Jewish, and possessing their music became a crime.
The Nazis tried to annihilate them, and they did. You couldn't find any records, you couldn't look at any movies that they made.
Performances for Harmony begin next week. Spike Lee was on hand for the opening of a new exhibit dedicated to him at the Brooklyn Museum. The exhibit features more than 300 objects from the famed film director's personal collection. The native Brooklynite set many of his films in the New York City borough. The exhibit runs through February 4th. And a viral Twitter thread from 2017 is the basis of the new horror film, Dear David. BuzzFeed artist Adam Ellis believed he was haunted by the ghost of a dead child after engaging with online trolls.
Do you know how to find out who this handle belongs to?
You really think a weird account is haunting your apartment?
Like, I saw a lot of parallels between, like, a haunting and a trolling, in the sense that, like, your home's supposed to be your sanctuary, it's your safe place, but, like, you know, like, these outside forces are now invading in on it.
Dear David opens in theaters tomorrow. That's your Eye on Entertainment. Danya Backus, CBS News, Los Angeles.
That's all the time we have for now. On-air coverage continues on the CBS 42 News at 4.